jersey?
Yeah, it's always good to go back home.
Yeah.
And I played at the Rutgers Stadium a couple times, so it's kind of familiar.
State championship games?
No, we had a couple regular season games there.
Okay.
We usually played at MetLife, so.
I grew up in Westfield, so.
Okay, yeah.
I know Mike Farrell, all that.
Yeah.
Playing at MetLife. Are you more excited to go back to get some pizza, bagels, if you have the opportunity to?
Definitely the bagels.
Yeah.
It's a staple of breakfast in Jersey. So
bacon, egg, and cheese.
That's
the way to go.
The main way.
And Luke said he had 200 guests. How many do you have coming?
Nowhere near that. I have a few coming, but just kept it kind of small. But I'm excited to go back, though, definitely, see everybody.
And were you looking at Rutgers? Was that one of the schools that was approaching you as you were playing in New Jersey?
Yeah, but not in my final consideration, but there were definitely one of the schools in there.
What does it mean to play in front of the home state, big game? You're now the starting linebacker at Ohio State.
You know, I'm very honored. It's not many people get to go back and play in front of all their family and friends, and I'm just excited for the opportunity, and nothing else. I'm just really excited.
Thanks,
Cody, is there a perception, or there is a perception, I guess, out and about in the world of social media and all that stuff, that as a group, the linebackers lack leadership, or that there's a problem in your room? You guys, how do you feel like when you hear or see that kind of discussion?
You know, we try to tune out what everyone else says about us. We know what we have in our room, and you know, I trust every guy on my team. We have great leaders in our room. You know, when guys leave, it's unfortunate, but they're finding a new path. And for us, we still have our leaders, and guys are stepping up. Yes, but we definitely have leaders, and I trust all those guys in that room.
I mean, how do you guys as a group react when something like what happened Saturday happened? I mean, because obviously Kayvon's your guy, he's one of your brothers, but at the same time, it's like you have a responsibility to the bigger unit, right?
Yeah.
How do you respond? How do you handle that as a group?
You know, it's tough seeing a guy go. Like Kayvon, he's a great guy to all of us. We still love him. He's still our brother. You know, for us, it's the mission doesn't change. Like the focus and the attention to detail, everything we do is still focused on winning our games and playing as hard as we can. You know, it's unfortunate we have guys leave, but like we say our condolences and we got to keep moving on, because at the end of the day, there's an ultimate goal for us, and we just got to keep chugging along.
Is it frustrating that so much of the conversation ends up being about things that aren't happening on the field?
It can be a little bit, but our focus isn't trying to be what's off the field, especially within kind of the media. We just try to play football, and that's what we came here to do, and that's what we're going to do, and keep playing as hard as we can and try to play our best.
Who are some of the best leaders in the linebacker room?
I mean, everyone's a leader in their own right, but definitely Taraj is probably the biggest leader in our unit. Taraj and Tommy, they lead the way a lot, and they're probably the toughest guys I know.
What's Taraj like as a leader?
He's really vocal, but he also shows it with his actions. Every play is 100% effort and intensity, and some guy that you could really trust in everything he does. And you know, I can trust Taraj to do anything really, and he's really a brother to me, and he really goes 100% every time.
What do you think about Steele's performance on Saturday and how he's developed over the last several weeks?
You know, Steele is a great player. Like he changed positions and is already making a great impact on our defense. And like Steele is another guy that I can trust to do almost anything on the field, and he's doing really well right now.
Are you surprised at all that he was able to transition from, obviously playing running back and coming in at linebacker and being able to play as much as he is right now?
No, I wasn't really surprised. He still really well-rounded. He can almost do anything on the field, and for him, it's just run the plays and he's ready to go. And that speaks to his character and speaks to how detailed he is and how dedicated he is to the team.
Cody, how's your shoulder doing?
It's good. We just taking it slow and just keep going. Nothing really major.
Is it just one of those things like as an athlete you have to manage it during the season? And what is kind of the fine line between when you know something is, you can play through it and something is more significant?
You know, it's after every game you're always going to be having banged up and bruised, and you know, it's just for me just getting back to treatment and getting ready for the next game. And you know, obviously sometimes you can get hurt a little bit more in the game, and you know, just trying to be precautionary and then get some more treatment and then get back out there.
talk to CJ about shoulder issues?
I mean, shoulder issues are like the main injury in football. So almost everybody, or like 10 guys, every team probably has a shoulder issue. But it's just something you got to work through and do treatment on, and you should be good.
Does it affect your passing accuracy?
when Coach Day lets me throw a ball in the game, maybe we'll see.
I mean, the first 10 questions you got were about other linebackers. How have you felt like these first 4 games have gone for you, and how have you developed really getting a lot of playing time in these first quarter of the season?
It's all about learning and getting better every week. It's not going to be perfect your first couple of times out there, but as long as you keep going 100% and playing as hard as you can, it'll eventually come to you. And that's what we're working on now, just trying to play as hard as we can and execute the best we can and just keep playing.
What have you learned? You said it's all about learning. What have you learned through these games?
There's a feel to when you actually get to start playing reps and how to attack offenses on offensive line, like learning how some certain players are going to play certain gaps, and as the game goes on, you kind of get a feel of where you can penetrate a defense or drop in a certain area, and I feel like I'm getting a feel of it, and it's just a process.
Do you feel like the secondary is coming into form behind you? Like players are falling into place in terms of what they're going to be? You're playing Cam Martinez more, like the Ransom drops back. Do you feel like things behind you are settling now?
I mean, yeah, definitely. The season, as the season goes on, the guys are going to start emerging, and I think we have a great group of guys playing, and even behind them, everyone's able to step up into that role. Right now, it's just executing each play and doing the best we can each play.
About Steele, real quick, back to him. Was there a point where you were, okay, he can obviously do this, like were you surprised by him in practice, like second day of practice when he's at linebacker? At some point, was there like a whoa moment for you in terms of the transition?
No, I wouldn't really say it was a whoa moment, just because as a team we all participate in special teams, and I've seen Steele do probably the best on special teams out of everybody. So for it to translate to defense is not surprising for me, and I think he can do almost anything on the field. Like I said earlier, it's the kind of athlete he is.
The way Ronnie Hickman is playing right now, kind of locking down that bullet spot, does that change what you guys can do as a defense? What he's doing there specifically, and the versatility he's showing?
Yeah, he's super dynamic. He can play almost any part of the field, run, pass, anything, and him playing the way he is really just helps the linebackers in the front, because we can rely on him to make big plays and make key tackles, and it's great to have him back there.
With that position, he's sort of asked to be both a safety and an outside linebacker. Was there any skepticism on your part that he could do the linebacker part of that, or had you seen that over the past couple of years that he had that kind of edge?
Yeah, he's definitely had it in him. Obviously, when we start something new, it's going to be different for him, and he's practiced nonstop and worked nonstop to get into that role and to be a really strong contributor for our team in that role. And I feel like he's doing pretty well right now. So keep going.
Hey Cody, Luke Whipple here from Ohio State Media. I was just curious, what's the most exciting thing you're looking forward to about going home back to Jersey?
He talked about bagels, but
oh yeah, bacon and cheese.
Hopefully we get those in the morning. But salt pepper ketchup.
That's your area where we're staying. Any pizza recommendations over there?
It's more south from me.
Yeah. Any orange places around there?
I go to this place called Johnny's.
Johnny's? Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, that's the spot for me.
Good luck this weekend, Cody.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you. Good.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Cody, Luke said that he got an NIL deal in the last 2 days because he was talking about which bagel place he liked on campus.
No way.
You got to name names.
No, see, the bagel spot that I used to go to closed down, so.
Well, what about here in Columbus, though? Where do you go get it?
It's nothing like back home. I just say that. Buckeye Donuts is pretty good, though, I'll tell you that.